Well, the day that we thought would never come has finally come. It's software update time for the INEOS Grenadier. It only took a little more than a year, and it seems like it's such a simple thing, but after I looked at some of what they've changed, it's not just the one thing that they fixed, because we've all been waiting for this software update for the overspeed warning annoying noise that we can't turn off permanently. But basically, it's nuanced, and so buckle up for a minute and I'll tell you a little bit about the two updates that have come out. And one is for earlier production Grenadiers and the other is for the later model production Grenadiers. So to start, production for a car happens normally, they do quarter changes. Like if they find that there's some manufacturing change that they need to make, they phase them in quarters, so that every car that was made in 24.1 is the first quarter of 24. They're all the same. So if they have something to fix, it's all the same. And so when they make changes, if they find functional differences, they then roll that into 24.2. Or if there are changes, 24.3 and 24.4. So there are 4 different quarters of production, and depending on when your Grenadier was manufactured, it falls into one of those 4 categories. And so far we've got also 25.2 and or 25.1 and 25.2. So the software update is broken into everybody that was in model year 24.1, and then everybody that was in model 24.2, 3, and 4, and model year 25.1 and .2 is in the other group, because there was a fundamental difference in the head unit of the Grenadier. And it was a firmware thing, but it's, because it looks the same. But basically, your Grenadier determines which software patch you're going to have applied. So it's interesting. When I had the discussion with my service manager about this, he said there's good news and there's bad news. And the good news is that I'm in the first batch. The bad news is that that's the one that's still delayed by another month or so. And it only takes an hour to process. And then the flip side is that everybody in the model year 24.2, 3, 4, and model year 25.1 and .2, it's a 4 to 5 hour software update. So when you take your car in, they have to keep it for 4 to 5 hours just to do that one software update, nothing else. So you'll have to prepare to have your car in there for a little bit of time to have this fix applied. Now, what it entails is not just the overspeed warning change, as I mentioned, but there's a whole list of things that they updated and changes that they made that impact functionality of the head unit or the park distance control and some certain things that they, bugs. It's like software. Then software bugs, they had a list and they worked through the list. So just briefly, some of them have to do with vehicle signal gongs. After opening the tailgate door, the head unit wakes up and a yellow message in the fuel range appears in yellow, plus a gong as on reserve. And they basically improve the timing so that it doesn't go off prematurely. Fuel level plausibility diagnostics, improved information. Text delayed and info area 1 is Italian language, but the head unit is set to German. Software updates. Sirius XM not pairing with certain antennas, not working. Bluetooth Android, sometimes there's no media icon rotation when using the steering wheel previous button. ADAS status message appears after driving to standstill to off-road mode. So they've improved a lot of different functionality. It's all rolled up into this software update. And frankly, that's why this took as long as it did. They had to go through a list of all the things that they needed to fix. And of course, the one that we've been paying attention to is this darn overspeed warning, tick, 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 that just annoys us to no end. So it's time for you to connect with your dealer and schedule to get that update made. Now, again, if you're in the original batch of Grenadier owners, model year 24.1, and their VIN numbers that are below 17,000, I believe, then you've got a little bit longer to wait. Not much, and by the time this video comes out, it may be available. But that, again, is a 1 hour update. it may have a slightly different list of items that are corrected, but for some reason that head unit firmware doesn't require the same amount of time to update, which is kind of interesting. So just beware that although this now changes your ability to turn off the overspeed warning is still going to work, because it'll probably flash at you. It's just you're able to silence the sound, and it's going to know that you're still exceeding the speed limit. And in fact, one of the changes, the very last change, is the improvement of sign recognition functionality in the FCM. So just be aware that when you get this software update applied, the only thing that's going to be different in that regard is the ability to silence the overspeed warning and have it survive that change when you turn the car off and on again. It's not going to change anything else. There's no other changes in the way that the automatic emergency braking system, any of those things works. It's just the overspeed warning switch, which there's a few things that I wish we could do differently, but again, like turning off the auto stop start and having it come back on every time, that's a requirement. It's more of a federal regulation sort of thing, and so those are rules that they have to follow. The silencing of the overspeed warning setting is, I think that they're getting around that by allowing you to silence the sound, but not necessarily the flashing indicator on the infotainment screen, because it's still going to monitor whether you're going over speed. So just it seems like we waited far too long for something that seems like far too little, but I'm glad they did it. I'm glad that they lived up to the promise, and I don't know why it took so long, and I hope that this was a lesson to them, because I think it hurt a lot of feelings of customers that something that seemed so simple took so long. And obviously companies want to seem responsive to customers, and this one just didn't come across that way. And so anyway, it's time. Schedule with your dealer, and likely tie it in with your first annual service, because a lot of people are coming up with that time frame. And then live happily ever after, and just remember the days when this thing just couldn't be shut up. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.